Fire pit swing. My wife and I found this on the internet and thought it would be amazing at our lake house. So we went online and found some instructions on how to build it, but there wasn't really any good video to show you how to build the fire pit swing. So we took some videos and put it together, and we will give you some basic instructions on how to put the swing together. As you can see, we decided to build a frame in order to determine where our holes need to go for each post. So we did that first. So this first hole here that you're going to see is our first hole. It's about 3 feet deep, big enough for that 6x6. And this next picture, the purple, is where our next hole will go. So here's a video of our 6x6 posts. As you can tell, they're treated wood. Here's one of our holes that's 3 feet deep, another hole that's 3 feet deep. The next hole is also 3 feet deep. But a couple of the holes we were unable to get them 3 feet, particularly on the lower end where there's a little bit of a slope, because the hole's a little deep and really hard to dig. We have a lot of rocks in Arkansas. So try to get them as close to 3 feet as you can, but 2 feet may work as well. Here's a photo or video of our 6x6x8 treated top boards. This video shows the plumb of our very first board going in the ground, plumb on both sides with a level. What you're seeing there is some support posts that we put in the ground in order to support the post before we pour our concrete. These are also can be reused for the top section. In this video, we're showing you the top board being strung across the top in order to make it level. We've got 3 posts in the ground, but we didn't want to pour concrete in until we knew that everything was completely level and straight. This video here shows a 30-degree angle that we cut for the top posts. This is a very large cut in a 6x6 post, so we had to use a chainsaw. This video shows that we took a piece of wood and a miter saw and cut the 30-degree angle and are using it as a pattern. So I told you that we didn't have a saw big enough to cut a 6x6 post. So here's an example of us cutting it with a chainsaw. The problem with cutting it with a chainsaw is it is not a real perfect cut, so it is a little jagged. So if you have the option that's not a chainsaw, I would use that. We are cutting a hole for the lag bolts to get started. So here's a picture of the lag bolts getting hammered in. Some people will actually screw them in, but we decided to hammer them in because they would be just as strong this way. So this shows the top section, the 2 boards held together with a bolt. We did this in order to give it additional support. You take a drill bit, put your drill bit through both boards, put the bolt through, and then put a nut and a washer on one end. This is after you have put the long bolt through each board through the top brace. In addition, you can see the jagged edges of the boards because we had to cut it with a chainsaw versus a table saw with a long blade. Here's a video of the final product, but there's a couple things I wanted to point out before we finish this project here on YouTube. And one is that we built this swing on a slope. Our yard wasn't specifically flat, so that's part of the reason at the beginning of the video we gave you the option of having 12-foot 6x6 boards, so that on the one end the boards can be longer than the other and you can cut them off to the desired length. Here's a video of the S hooks and the I hooks that is used to hold the swings up. Here is the finished product. After several hours of work, we are finally able to enjoy our fire pit swing. Our family has enjoyed several hours sitting by the fire, roasting marshmallows and hot dogs, visiting, and we hope we have many more years to come in our swing. I hope you've enjoyed our video, and I hope yours turns out just as beautiful as ours.